Records of the Unknown, Operation Latency, contains horror elements that may be disturbing to some listeners. Listener discretion is advised.
You are listening to an Atomic Broadcasting production, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the feature presentation. And remember, do your part, such as like, comment, rate, and don't forget to tell a friend to tune in for an Atomic Time.
November 19th, 12:30 p.m. The storm has hit hard. There's strong wind, lightning, thunder. The rain is heavy. It's hard to see as you are all driving out of town. It's been about 5 miles worth of driving at this point. And Abe Rogers grabs his walkie, turns it a couple of channels. This is Abe Rogers checking in. Tango Tango Phi. And then a voice comes back.
We read you. Over.
I brought the visitors. Figured could give a tour. Over.
Sounds good. I'll alert the colonel. Over.
And then Abe hits it one last time. Super et ultra. Over. Alright, we're almost there. So we continue to drive. He pulls off the main path and goes down a bumpy side road. Looks like the snow's been cleared of this road. And up ahead is a small log cabin that he pulls in to. Alrighty. We're just gonna head inside.
Lead the way.
So he goes ahead and hops out and puts on a jacket because it's raining.
It's raining?
Very heavily.
It's not snowing?
No, it's raining very heavily.
Agent Bellamy, did you cool off at all on the ride?
You don't feel that much cooler. But you feel wet.
Just feel wet. Okay. I'm humid.
Let's get out of this weather then. Follow towards the cabin.
Yeah, I'll follow Abe. Hand resting on my gun.
Alright, Abe walks you up to the front door.
Are there any, do you see light coming from the cabin? Is there any, is it electrical light if there is, or is it just, fire?
Yeah, there seems to be some light coming from the inside. There does look to be, a lamp or two that are electric. There's also a fireplace on.
So we're not just walking up to a dark cabin. All right.
Right. He walks up, does a little knock. Someone opens the door. Kind of looks at all of you guys. Come on inside. After you all.
Walk in. I don't recognize the gentleman inside at all.
No.
I'm keeping my eye on Agent Bellamy. What's her status?
She seems fine.
Really?
Just very warm still. Soaked.
He closes the door after you all walk in. With the fire going and such, it's feeling pretty warm now for all of you guys who are bundled up. Abe starts kind of unbundling a bit.
Is there a coat rack?
Yeah.
I don't take my coat off.
Yeah, it's probably smart. I probably shouldn't do that either.
Alright, we'll just head down to the basement.
Does this room have similar trophies that Abe's house had in town, or is it just kind of a...
It looks about as generic of a log cabin you could ever think of. He walks up to a door, opens it, and it looks to be an elevator.
Okay,
All right.
I'll be the last one in, but
I'll step into the elevator.
Alright. Welcome to the compound. You all step in, and you feel like you begin descending.
Whenever I spoke with Johan previously, did he describe him and his fellow Germans stayed at a compound as well?
They had a little cabin they mentioned that they live at. Nothing about a compound.
Okay.
It takes a couple minutes. But then you guys kind of start slowing down and you reach the bottom.
How many buttons are on the elevator for, like, floors?
1. All right. Follow me. Please don't wander too much yet. And he starts heading out down some hallways. This place now that you're down here is like all very just white and pristine, almost like sterile. And the halls are always like lined with windows that are mostly blacked out.
Question for you, Abe.
Yeah, shoot.
If you guys are here with obviously much greater resources, why did Delta Green send us? You're obviously much more capable.
Well, like I said, Delta Green likes to handle little symptoms, things like that. So if they caught wind of something, they want to go cut it off. They want to go cut it off. We're not in charge of what they do. They probably don't even know we're here. They might. Maybe they're just poking and prodding with the three of you.
Seems like a great waste of government resources. There's some miscommunication between departments.
Well, what they do isn't necessarily what we do, so we don't typically handle stuff like that all the time. We can be a little more diplomatic. One of the windows that you guys pass through, Bellamy, when you look through it, you see what looks like a hangar. There's a couple of planes parked in like a really large room.
Interesting.
Another room you guys pass by looking in the window is you see some of the fungus, and there's a couple of people in like hazmat suits messing with it.
That makes me feel good for all the times we didn't have hazmat suits.
And you see one of them kind of take part of it and place it, and then they kind of take a step back and they flip a switch, and you see new fungus like growing very rapidly.
Mm-hmm.
And then up ahead, as you guys are walking down the hall, there are 2 armed guards walking towards you guys. Evening, guys. Hey, we're here to take you to the colonel. Sounds good?
Lead the way.
You guys go down a couple more halls. At this point, there's less windows.
For the halls we've been following, are they kind of like branching and splitting, like different halls, kind of T's and cross? Okay.
There were a lot of directions. There's less as you're going.
No stairs either. Like where we're walking here, we're on flat hallways. Once we got down the elevator.
From what you've seen, yes. You guys come up to a door. Abe opens it up for you guys. Come on right inside. The 3 of you enter. Abe follows, and one of those armed guards also follows in. The other staying outside. This is like a conference room. Pretty big table. There is a man in military fatigues. He's an older looking man. He has a little tag. It's Colonel Trenton. Good morning. Or afternoon, I guess.
Colonel?
Nice to make your acquaintances. And as you're walking past the guard and you're seeing his fatigues, you kind of notice they all have this patch on their uniforms. It's a triangle that's black, purple, and red. On the outer lines, it says Supra et Ultra. Inside a smaller triangle inside the big triangle is a bunch of stars and the earth, and plunging into the top of the earth is a knife. Welcome to the compound. Take a seat, take a seat. It's always good to meet fresh faces. Have you roll a power check?
Oh. 50. My power is 50.
You're starting to feel like a kind of itch in your hand to go for your weapon and shoot the colonel.
Interesting. Is it something that I can resist for now? Or is it becoming overwhelming?
It's a growing feeling. So Abe and this guard walk up and pull up some chairs for you guys. The guard kind of starts taking off all of his face coverings that he has. And Agent Bellamy, you recognize this man. Someone you saw during a very traumatic moment in your life. You see the Delta Green agent who saved your life. And you get that same feeling.
Oh! Okay.
He kind of looks at you Kind of gives you a knowing nod.
Hi.
Hey.
You see the color drain from Bellamy's face.
You two know each other?
You look like we've seen a ghost.
And the colonel looks at you guys like, take a seat. Take a seat. Abe, Mac, take a seat too. Let's talk.
I will follow his instruction.
Do you guys have some water around here or something? Please?
The guy who was called Mac. Yeah, he got some. He pulls out some water bottles. He hands them over.
Thanks.
Alright, so I imagine you all still have a lot of questions from what Rogers gave you.
You could say that.
You might have heard a little thing in 1947 called the Roswell Incident. We were formed to investigate and learn from that incident. That incident, we met a survivor from a crash. From a ship that is not from this earth. Call it a Gray. It was our mission to learn from him, to talk to it, to learn what we can from the crash and the wreckage, and to look into similar incidents and figure more out. What we learned that day has changed the world. In subtle ways. Advanced technology much further than anyone could have without it. We are Majestic 12. It's our government handle. My name's Colonel Trenton. I've been serving with Majestic since we founded 5 years ago. You all work with Delta Green. You guys have been around a lot longer than we have as an organization. Most of our people are former Delta Green. Just moved to a different position. After the war, I was made aware of these things, and I grew an interest in it, and they assigned me a post here up in Alaska. To learn, to grow, to advance. And that's what we've been doing here. Testing, learning. I heard you three were in here investigating something, to my understanding, you were sent here about the fungus. But since then, you've been dealing with a possible serial killer. Something unnatural. Is that correct?
More or less.
And last night you were shot at.
Yes.
I do apologize about that.
Is that one of yours?
That was you guys?
One of our agents took it upon himself to try to be proactive in a way we are not. He was a newer agent. I'm sad to have seen him go, but I understand, given the circumstances, there was not much of another choice, so I understand completely and will not hold that against you.
Well, certainly, being able to travel through that environment without leaving tracks in the snow is rather impressive.
What are you referring to? Oh. Our friends get up to that.
Your friends?
Our friend. I mentioned we met a sole survivor, one unit we call Gray. We've met more of them since then, and we've been working alongside them, learning greatly from what we can. We are always on the search for the top minds of our world and outside of our world, when possible and safe. We've worked with these Grays since we founded. We have no reason not to trust them. Does not mean we're stupid and trust them with everything. Of course. Can all of you make sanity checks, by the way?
Yeah. 69 over 65.
Abby?
89 over 56.
Steven?
It's a big old 100.
Oh, of all the people we want to break right now, it's not you.
Doctor, Bellamy, you both lose 2 sanity points. Corporal Adams, you lose 5. Steven, in this instance, would you fight, flight, or freeze upon getting confirmation of alien life?
Freeze.
Okay. So, Corporal, as he's saying this to you, how do you react to this?
My hand tightens around the handle of my gun, but I don't draw it. I think my mind goes back to the things that I've already seen, and I'm just kind of staring off into space.
Mac kind of looks over at you, kind of concerned, and looks over at Bellamy, kind of like, is he alright?
He's fine.
Okay.
Certainly lost a good man last night in the deputy of the town by your rogue agent that took the shot.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. Abe's been talking to the two of them, but they were going to be potentially helping us out, so I don't like a civilian getting too involved and having this happen to them. That's not what we're here for. We're here for defending people like that country. Even if it's not a state, it's still one of ours.
Abe, you've been trying to work with them, of course, and the sheriff seems pretty inclined to go and investigate the mines. Do the Greys have an experiment going on over there as well?
Shouldn't have anything else going on besides Operation Latency with us. Shouldn't be anything else going on. Not that we've seen. We try to keep an eye on stuff like that. Operation Latency, in case you're wondering, is experimenting with radiation. Consistent, small dosages. Those funguses are, we've been planting them around to see what sort of effects they might have on the land at such low levels, what effects they might have on people. So far, nothing dangerous has happened. Our scientists actually think there's a lot of benefits through small radiation treatment like this, being as consistent as it can be. They believe that there's advantages in long-term health. Perhaps we're just trying to crack the key on that, you know? Crack the code, if you will. But working alongside the Greys in this situation, they're doing a lot of the planting for us. That's why we know that whatever that gray man is, it's not related to our operation.
Not in the planting of the fungus.
No, shouldn't have anything to do with the fungus.
And this fungus is certainly part of an experiment. You guys are planting it, so it's not necessarily just growing outward naturally. It's being placed.
It can grow very slowly, naturally. We found a method for growing it faster. We had been in contact with Miss Bunsen. She stopped reaching out a few weeks before she died. When Abe talked to her, it's like she didn't even remember it. She didn't seem to act like she didn't even know what was going on.
I think a few weeks ago, she may have been suspect for, as the sheriff called it, a murder of Uriah Kent, I believe.
Right, yes.
Which, seeing as how that body was left in its state in the recent incidents, I suspect has to do with the gray man. Are you sure the fungus is the only thing these Greys are planting?
We work very closely with these things. We keep a watchful eye. It'd be very difficult for them to ever get anything past us.
I'd be surprised. We may have home field advantage that if they have the capabilities of reaching us from another world, that they don't have a few other tricks up their sleeve. Are you sure they don't have some of their own operations going on their own terms?
He takes a second and is kind of thinking. I'm very confident that if they were, we would know. Agent Bellamy, everyone's sitting at the table. Your eyes keep darting between Mac and the Colonel. The gun is in your hand, and you're starting to feel like you're mentally aware of the fact that you're not moving your arm, but your arm's moving. Like I said, we've been working with these Greys a while. I could take you around a bit and talk to some of the scientists here, see what they feel about the situation. We got people from all over the world here. You might fit right in, Doctor.
Yes, certain I would. All over the world, but you don't have anyone here from beyond our world, do you? Do you have any sort of liaison?
We talk. We meet with them on occasion. They don't hang around too often, too long. They're pretty secretive, much like ourselves. They don't like to be too exposed. That makes sense. But we've got a tight lockdown on the area. Mac sort of looks at Bellamy. You doing okay? You need any more water?
Yeah. Please.
Mac gets up and walks over to the little refrigerator unit. Corporal, as you're frozen there, standing, seeing things, you start to hear the screaming, the shooting, the gunfire in the halls. And then you feel your hand moving for your gun. But then your hand starts burning, like when you touched Aurora's hand, when she grabbed your hand. And you can see on the back of your hand is some, like, brand burning into it. A symbol that you don't quite recognize. And you feel completely back in control again.
Is the symbol still there?
Yes.
Do I notice Agent Bellamy moving her gun?
Will you roll alertness for me?
Sure. 22 under 70.
Agent Bellamy stands up. And before you can fully react, you hear 2 quick gunshots. Bellamy, you were sitting there, beginning to sweat so much more than normal, and you're feeling your whole body move without your control, but you're still mentally there as you see your gun raised to Mac and shoot him in the head. And then your gun turn on the Colonel and shoot him in the neck. And then you feel like something, as you're kind of, for a second, kind of start coming back in control, it feels like something squirms inside of you. Corporal, as you saw that happen, as you were distracted by this new brand in your hand, as that pain, and you hear the ringing of the shots, you see she's not wearing very many layers. You see something push against the left side of her rib cage from inside. Agent Bellamy, roll sanity. What did you roll?
43 under 54.
Corporal Adams sees this thing pressing against you. Abe Rogers stands up and immediately pulls his gun to fire.
I would also like to stand and pull my gun.
Abe is going to shoot her right now.
Right. Then I'm going to tackle him.
Oh.
All right, contested roll. Let's do this.
$21 under 50.
He rolled a 28.
Oh, no!
So the corporal rushes over to tackle Abe. And Abe is able to kind of stand up on the chair, kind of sideswiping where you were running, and he takes a shot. And he's just sort of, as he's doing this, he doesn't even know how to react. He's just sort of like, what the hell are you doing? But because of all this movement, his shot goes wild. Bellamy, what are you doing in this moment? Everyone's moving.
I'm trying to drop my gun.
You're having a bit of trouble doing that, and then suddenly you're able to. It's just a sudden drop.
And this entire time, have I been in my right mind?
You have been, but you haven't been in control of your body.
Okay.
And you're feeling this thing still wriggling around. It's like it's moving to a different part of your body.
Jeez.
Has the doctor pulled his gun on Abe at this point?
I have my gun drawn. I'm facing Bellamy. Does the way this is moving look familiar to me?
Will you roll sanity?
Bellamy is freaking out currently.
I've got my knife.
Sanity 32 under 63.
As you're looking, you're getting flashes to that table in your house of that man squirming and screaming as these other men are holding him down, and you're standing over him with your operating tools. And you remember how that went. How the man was shot because you'd failed your operation. And you're looking at Bellamy, frozen as she dropped her gun, that thing squirming. It's different. It's not the same, but it's too similar that you just remember it. And you lose a sanity point. Abe's kind of just like, what are you guys doing? She just killed the Colonel.
There's something inside of her.
I didn't do it. I mean, I did, but I didn't.
I'm sorry. I will shoot Bellamy, aiming for the thing.
Oh no!
I'm not going to try to just shoot at her, but I'm trying to at least shoot the thing inside of
roll,
her.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Roll with a minus 20. You could bonus yourself if you try to aim. You could give yourself.
I will
a bonus.
try to aim because I'm trying to at least aim for the thing.
Okay.
But
So-
yes, I am shooting at you. Picturing back to that night on the table, knowing what happened when I failed that. I don't exactly have my surgical tools prepared here in this conference room for anything. It doesn't look quite right to me, so I haven't known Bellamy for long, but I do at least care for my fellow agents for the missions we have. I will take a deep breath, a little shaken, and I will try to steady my hand to aim at the thing that's moving.
Abe sort of hesitates now after you said that, and he's seeing that. What the hell did you guys pick up? What is that thing?
I told you she needed medical attention.
What is happening to me?
Bellamy, take 3 damage as this thing is moving around, and you're feeling like, I don't know, it's almost acidic, but also like a bunch of teeth moving around.
Also, I just hit my breaking point.
Would you fight, flight, or freeze in this situation?
Probably fight.
Do I see that the doctor is aiming his gun
Yeah.
at specifically the spot that's squirming? So can I see that it is causing her pain?
Yeah.
Seeing that it doesn't look like Abe is going to shoot her, I'm going to rush her and draw my knife.
You want to try and cut right now? Or hold it right now?
Yeah, I don't think I'd go straight in for it. I think I would try to hold her and then try to talk to her. I don't know if that applies.
What is your athletics, Abby?
50.
So because she's in a state of panic, you're going to need to do an opposed roll against her athletics.
My athletics is also 50. 81 over 50.
89 over 50.
Oh.
You both fail. Bellamy, as you're struggling and panicking, you feel this thing moving even further. You feel like your arm, out of your control, jolts back and like elbows the corporal right in the gut, sending the corporal kind of winded for just a second.
We got to get that thing out of you, Agent.
She's like flailing, trying to get the corporal away from her, and then she also knows that the doctor has a gun pointed at her.
Yes.
So she's flailing, trying to fight the corporal off so she can defend herself against the doctor.
I guess if it's my turn, I will continue to take the shot. I still see it, right?
Yeah, you get a
Okay,
plus
yeah.
20% to your firearms.
Okay, so I'm rolling for a 20. Oh. That is a 65 over 20.
So the shot just rings out in the room and just shoots the refrigerator unit. Abe runs up to try and hold Bellamy down. Do you wanna fight back? You could try and hurt him.
I'm going to try and hurt him.
Okay, so roll something. I'll allow athletics, it's fine.
That's 100.
Oh! So Abe runs up and you flail around some more and you end up hitting against a chair and he's able to pin you really quickly and hold you down. Alright, somebody get this thing out of her. Now!
I will take my knife and hold it out to the doc. You'll be able to help her without hurting her like I can.
Oh, this will still hurt.
Alright, it'll pass over you to him.
I grab the knife and I go, and then if she's being held down by Abe, I will try to perform surgery with a combat knife to get this thing at least out.
You don't have time to make like a full operation. You're not going to allow surgery in
And I
this
imagine
case.
you wouldn't hold still on the conference table like it's a surgery either. So
Oh, gosh, no.
yeah, no.
What's your surgery skill?
70. That
You
weapon.
can roll surgery at a minus 30.
Taking the knife, going for Agent Bellamy, try to get this thing out. Corporal Adams, have your gun ready. We still need to handle the thing once it's out. And I go for the cut
Alright, roll surgery.
with a minus 30. With the minus 30, that becomes it's a 64 over 40.
You're going in to try and do it, and the thing keeps moving, and you can't feel like you can quite get in, so you're not trying to stab in. So you kind of hold the knife at bay, just unsure quite how to handle the situation. As the thing moves around some more, Bellamy, what's your hit points right now?
13.
You take 4. So because she fought back and because she's crit failed that last one, you are freely able to grab her and help hold her down on the table with Abe. As Agent Bellamy kind of begins convulsing as this thing is moving deeper into her chest. Yeah, Doc, go for it. Now, I'm only going to give you -10 now.
Okay.
On your surgery.
With the -10, it becomes 18 under 60.
So you slice open a part of Agent Bellamy, allowing you to see inside, and what you can see is some sort of amorphous gray thing that sort of has like a oily rainbow effect as it's moving in and around, and you see parts of her body being like ripped up as it's moving. As you've opened up this hole, it seems to be like retreating from the hole deeper in. As it's moving and tearing parts of her up, it's leaving like parts of itself behind.
This doesn't look like what I recall seeing before, so it's not able to exactly get rid of it easily. I'm trying to think. We're pretty deep in this facility. Like, it was a while back when they had that weird fungus room, right?
Yeah.
There's no time to get her there. Because I don't know if this thing reacts to radiation at all.
This is
but we don't
game
have
time decision,
It
Nolan.
is game time.
Technically. Abe's gonna just keep holding her. He's not. What is that thing? What the heck?
That makes it my turn, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If I let her go, she's gonna flail. If she even has the strength to do that at this point, I don't know.
She's in probably too much pain.
Take a hit point of damage for the surgery.
Yep.
Realistically, I think Corporal Adams would leave this part up to the doctor. I think I'm just gonna keep. Yep.
Roll Constitution for me real quick, actually.
Constitution.
Corporal.
Ooh, 55 under 75.
Alright. You feel some weird, like, thing in your throat that you start kind of lurching, and then you just kind of throw up a little bit. Ooh. And some of that same gray looking stuff, like, dissolves from where you threw up.
I don't have time to worry about that right now. But I'm gonna worry about it later. But I'm gonna keep holding on to her because I'm trusting the doctor is going to. He has more proficiency in whatever skills it's gonna take to get that thing out of
What I'm
her.
gonna do is you're specifically spending your turn giving him a bonus.
Is this thing like wrapping on any specific organ at the moment? Is it like is it anchoring to anything?
It is
As a-
kind of free moving in there. Right now where it's at doesn't look like how it should because it's making its own pathways.
You had layers of clothes shed around, right? Jacket or something?
Not here.
Not here.
She's just got like fatigues,
Yeah.
casual wear on.
I'll rip a sleeve, try and cover my hand, and then just try and grab at the core of this thing, like reaching inside to hopefully hold it.
All right, what would you like to roll for this?
I do have unarmed combat skill.
What is that?
60.
Oh, I will allow that with a plus 10% because of Abe and the corporal holding her down.
Plus 10%? That's a 35 under 70.
All right, you are able to get your hand there, and you're trying to grab it.
With some cloth like to wrap around it.
As your hand goes in there, and you're trying very hard not to touch any of her, you feel it, like you've got a hold on it, and then it kind of slips. But as it's slipping, you feel like a serration as you take 1 point of damage, and your finger, it cut through the cloth, and like it looks like an acid burn, but also like cuts from a bunch of small serrations. Bellamy, you take 3 points of damage as this thing continues to move inside.
What are you at now?
5.
And if you ever take half or more of your current hit points, you do become stunned. But I don't think you're really doing anything with your turns right now.
Screaming.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, other than screaming in pain.
There's been no response from Majestic 12.
It hasn't been very long. As you guys are here and you're cut her open, you're doing this, you're at this point. At this point, the lights start to dim and the alarms start blaring.
Okay.
Lights begin swirling and flashing all within the room.
Seeing what the doctor attempted to do but failed at, I'm going for it.
All right, you can just use your base.
70 on 70.
Oh gosh.
Ooh.
So your goal is to grab it and pull
And
it out.
pull it out.
Yeah.
You do that. You reach onto it. Are you also clothed
Yeah,
hand?
yeah. I figured. So you said because you like reached in there with the cloth and it kind of slipped away. I figured the cloth was still kind of there. I was
And
just
you
gonna...
pull it out, and now you're holding this thing in your hand. Bellamy, this thing is now out of you, but you're feeling this churning in your body. It's just everything's been serrated, melted apart. You feel that sterile air blowing into your wound. What are you doing right now?
Screaming.
All right.
I mean, just imagine you've just been cut open.
Oh yeah.
And this thing is shredding the inside of your body.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's in a ton of pain.
Speaking of which, could I get a Constitution roll from you?
Yeah. 25 under 65.
All right. You take 1 point of damage. Doctor?
Looking at the situation, I imagine, yeah, like you said, everything's wrong. Inside is eviscerated. I, Nolan, don't think there is much I could do, but Doctor, with his medical training, is there anything he can do to try to stop her from dying, I guess, at this
You
point?
can try you have the supplies. You could try a very quick, like, tourniquet or something that you could you could just try.
I will try. If that's all I can do, I will try to stop the bleeding.
Probably first aid out of your 3 medical skills.
34 under 60.
All right, you're moving about, trying various things of like, I gotta seal the wound. You made the wound, so theoretically you could seal it, but what can you do about the internal stuff? There's not a lot, but perhaps sealing the external wound will at least help in some measure. But she definitely needs time and more medical expertise, like time for that, which there very well could be here in the facility.
Abe, do you have a med bay, anything here?
We've got stuff. We got docs. We got a bunch of stuff we could try.
Adams, dispose of that thing.
Abe is now like let go of Bellamy, and he's looking at this thing, and he's just kind of like thinking about how to approach this. He's like raises his gun to the corporal, like, should I shoot this thing?
Wait for me to throw it first.
He'll prepare to shoot it once you've kind of thrown it, so he will take aim.
I'm gonna huck it as far
That's
away.
not your turn.
Oh, I thought you. I'm
The
sorry.
blob, the
Yeah,
thing begins to try to encircle your hand. It is going to make an attack roll. Well, it did indeed fail its attack. So
Good.
it was not able to get around, fully encompass. You're able to kind of keep it at bay with that cloth, but it is almost eaten through the cloth entirely. And you take 1 point of damage.
I can handle that. I chuck it.
You chuck it. Make a roll with a skill.
I'll do unarmed if that's okay.
Sure.
One under 70.
Oh, well. Oh.
Wow.
It's unfortunate. 66.
No.
Under. The corporal goes to throw this thing, and it just kind of like starts flying off, kind of like lunges back. It's still in your hand.
I think that's my turn then, right?
Yeah, it was its turn too, so it'll lose its next turn.
I give the knife back because I think you're going to need it.
I'll take it with my other hand.
And I will try to... Right now, I want to trust you with that thing, at least for the moment.
Okay.
I want to try to... I don't know this facility. I don't know where the med bay's at.
If it
I'll
helps,
just-
I am still screaming in pain.
Oh, it's great. Just trying to get her to wherever it might be here, because this is definitely not a med bay. I will, dropping the cane, pick you up and walk towards the door. And you'll note, in a rush of things, I drop the cane and pick you up. I'm not limping when I carry you.
Interesting.
So the doctor begins to rush Bellamy out of the room. Abe, she's just kind of like,
It's stuck!
He pulls out a knife.
That's fair.
And he's going to try and just kind of plunge it in.
Okay.
See what he can do.
Go for it.
He like gets a slash of it, and part of it kind of flings off of it, but it doesn't seem like it's really affected at all. But part of the thing kind of like splattered off.
All right, I'm throwing it again. Get off. 58 under 70.
All right, so you throw this thing against the wall,
Splat.
and as it kind of like falls off the wall, it leaves a bit of residue of itself up on the wall splatter. Bellamy, you're being carried out. You're now in the hallway right now. You can see several armed guards coming down. They're a little ways off, but they're on their way.
I'm being carried and
Yeah,
I'm
that's-
bleeding still,
yeah.
so
Can I get another constitution check from you?
yes.
Ooh, she's making a face.
72 over 65.
3 damage. What was your current hit point?
4.
At 1 hit point, you fall into unconsciousness.
That tracks.
So as you're looking out, you see those armed guards coming, and you're out in the hall, and you see your blood staining this sterile white wall and floor. Everything goes black.
Thank you for listening to the Records of the Unknown Operation Latency. Records of the Unknown is an Atomic Broadcasting production. Delta Green is copyright of Arc Dreams Publishing. Operation Latency is not published or endorsed by Arc Dreams Publishing and is an original module created and run by Samuel Sarver. Our players are Nolan as Dr. Sylvester Steele, Abby as Bernadette Birdie Bellamy, and Harrel as Corporal Alexander Adams. Music in the show is from Monument Studios, as well as various artists. If you enjoy the show, be sure to subscribe or follow the Atomic Broadcasting Network on your favorite listening platform. If you want to stay in touch, you can follow us on our socials listed in the description. Join the community in our Discord server to be notified of future uploads and join in on the conversation of what's to come. Don't forget to like, comment, and tell a friend. And as always, have an atomic time.
All right. Welcome to the compound. Ding.
What kind of
Is that supposed to be elevator music?
No. So you all step in